Since day 1,385, the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, only should be a schus for Am Yisrael, Sarah. Today we're doing Yerideh Siman Reish and Aleph, Sif Yud Aleph to Tes Vav. Yeah, in Bonaniyim Harbei, the garbage of tzedakah. The many Bonaniyim come to a garbage tzedakah, but in Balchis Kedei, the finance community don't have enough money in the fund to sustain all of them, or the chatzos kulam, or to clothe all of them, or if those kulam, or to redeem all of them. Magdim HaKohen Levi, you give preference to going over the Levi Yisrael Cholo Shtuki Asufi Mamzer Nosim Nosim Lager Beger Levin Meshuchar. Okay, this is a situation which is almost impossible to find, but so they're not going to bother even translating. Bamet v'amurim bisman shein shom mechachma. It's only when they're equal in wisdom. Shein zagonim mizarabei, when one is not significantly greater than the other. One is greater in wisdom, and the second one is lesser in wisdom. It's only the same with Amoritz. It's going towards the mission of Horios that Mamza Tamachacham Kairei, Kohen Gadol Amoritz. Mamza Tamachacham comes before Kohen Gadol, leaves now Amoritz. And according to Arukh HaShulchan, which is Pashim, it's not just one is a Chacham, the other is Amoritz, one is a Chacham like this, one is a Chacham like that. Was greater Chacham, and I'm currently in. I think it's a Dora Pasha. Also, that Tzidkus is also a Cheshbon, not just Chachma. Chachma is, I think, in fact, euphemism for Tzidkus here. Even the time Chacham is for clothing, and Amoritz is for providing food. You think that much should become first. The time Chacham comes first. I feel Ishes the time Chacham comes Amoritz, and even the wife of Tam Chacham comes before the Amoritz. Yesh in some stage of Zazah, Ein Lo Dun Kain. Our day and age, we don't take these cheshbonos into account. That's a shach. Kol shadavar kol agadol v'chachma kol chaver. And the general principle is anybody who's greater chachma takes precedence. V'yachamem rabbo of him when his father is Rebbe or his father. Abi sheisham gdolim v'chachma, even the greater people in wisdom there. Rabbo shul tam chacham of you kodim l'zeshu gdolim matter. His Rebbe is a tam chacham, or his father takes precedence. The person who is greater. In the long brackets here. Can you really gross but two of a shulchan siftas and show kushas and shas you can design shop. Fine base such cuts Yushami so various particle Levi Lavi Solu. Yushami have heard this in Levi Yisrael, but it's limited between the two of them. Tai Shas Duchan Shanu. So it says the time Duchan they had the special role of singing in the base of Mikdash, making music base of Mikdash. The mashma, the shlovish has a duchan, lo enkti maliso levi. So it seems like when it's not a time of the duchan, no base of touch, there's no preference of levi over Yisrael. Avashash lo masha ken, but that's not the indication of our shots. I ain't sure. A member's coming to Yushami, I'm also ken. Yushami also doesn't mean that. The Mike Park, what's the question? She the Kedushas Levi Yisrael. Obviously, the holiness of Levi, sanctity of Levi is greater than Yisrael. Yushami kai hach the Nazir Perk Zayin. Yushami is going to say else. Nazir says that Levi Yisrael she'il and Meis Mitzvah. If Levi Yisrael have there's an option who of them will be Matame to Meis Mitzvah. It says Yitma Yisrael lo Levi the Yisrael should become Dami not the Levi. Parasham Kush Yazu. There that's this question of Levi Yisrael Shavet. Why? Mishum Delina Tumadim Shavet. In terms of Tumatara, the halacha is the same. Matara it's an answer. B'shas Dukan Shana Shi Yohei Chol Leich Mikdash. And the Gemara said no. The time based on Mikdash existed. A Levi did have a preference in terms of Tumantara because he could always go swim in the base of Mikdash on the Duchan, and therefore he should be prepared to do that by not being tummy. Yes, it's well known. The Yerushalmi asks on another place when it has a similar lotion, even though it's not Nogei the Sugya in which it is the question appears. Okay, you have to get the Sugya to understand that. Your base. Arukh Chazal say both inclusive and both zones. We assess the situation. Check out the credentials. It comes clothing, but not for food. In other words, we're sure we don't give to a fraud. If we don't know if it's a fraud or not, as in Balbakish Beggar, it becomes to ask for clothing. We do check them out, see if it's a fraud. because he can tolerate wait until we check him out. And Vakish Lechem is asking for bread. We don't check after him. So we give him to immediately. Shemu Roy, maybe he's hungry, but Salam Ruba and his great anguish. We can't ask now for that, which it says in the Gemara Babas. The Rabbi Mitzvah Shalas and Peter Amoritz. Rabbi was upset he gave food to the Amoritz in the time of famine. Fine, but what about the fact you're not supposed to check for giving food? The Hasam time Achinu, that was different. She got Meloza Kasha, that's why he's Amoritz in Circle Achil. Anyway, that was difficult. You don't have to give food to an Amoritz? Of course you do. But there was a famine, so it wasn't enough for everybody. So you have to prioritize. That's why time you need to prioritize, time comes first. Rabbi Choshesh, Rabbi was concerned, there shouldn't be bread missing. But otherwise, of course, you would have to give him the food. Also, he was in anguish because he didn't know he was so compelled to give to the Amoritz. Normally, Amoritz is more versatile at getting sustenance than the Talmid Chacham. But if Amoritz comes in front of us dying of hunger, so certainly a time of famine, you have to sustain him. Even the Talmid Chacham might later on not get it. Even though the Talmid Chacham might later on not get it. In the bracket says, "I can't find a million fires." Sleep it out. This it says the shot in the Shulchan Aruch. You give a call posted. You're the lito lechem nosil. Anybody who extends his hand to take bread, we give it to him. I feel above. We go chayim bakish lechem nosil. Even if non-Jew comes to ask for bread, we give him. Because I'll say you give food to non-Jewish poor people with Jewish poor people on account of the pathways of peace. Doesn't mean specifically where it came with Ani Yisrael. I feel about it, even the non-Jewish Ani came by himself, Lito, to take Nosa, we give him Nosa, feeling him repukim of our veil taboso, and we give it to any person, even occasionally he commits Averos for his out of a Yetzer Hara. Still have to sustain it. See what it says, brother should live together with you. I feel of our Avera Chicho. He committed a violation, he's his brother. But when he was sinned just by accident, or occasionally. But he was a consistent violator. Even at one sin, even though he does that on account of his appetite. Is not good. Not required not to feed him, but also nor to lend him money, those nor to redeem him in state captivity. Nevertheless, seemingly does so if they want to redeem him, or to sustain him, to feed him, or sustain him. Ain't Isra B'davar. There's no prohibition since he does it out of his appetite. Somebody who commits an aver to anger Hashem chas v'shalom. For the mitzvah, even as one mitzvah, if you even one time, have a zeir, is a minva bikores. He's a blasphemer, whatever, non-believer. Plus, if those not we redeem him, uzuno, or feed him, and also and sustain him. Because it's also tshuva, so we didn't do tshuva. But also tshuva, but if we did tshuva, rain, kshen, then they're absolutely kosher, and they have the status, full-blown Jewish kosher status. In brackets, it says, "Kosafti kfi olam yeshulchan rasif alvu beis kvidi b'yataz v'shach ayin sham." This is what comes out shulchan aruch nos kelim. V'dad b'shnon kosul l'hachis mikra shulchan be'er mokum l'shchiach sheva. If someone defines a mula hachis, somebody eats a treif where you can find kosher. Okay, we'll begin. Mums ein rauf. It's clear and getting. Va'idna I was saying, Rami unroim zeh be'eno l'hachis. We unfortunately see in our day and age that people eat nevela instead of kosher, even though kosher is available. Not because of they want to anger Hashem chas v'shalom, but because because they are not accustomed to doing the right thing. And their hearts are stopped up. And this really is very similar to Chaim Chaziz saying that we have no real apikoros b'zman hazeh. It's really saying that we have no mumel hachis b'zman hazeh because people are doing it not because of their try to anger Kosh Baruch Hu, but because of Heder Haher Govatin to Malev. Also, the Gemara seems indicates that which we say that the the person who is mumar lahachis is somebody who rejects the permitted and eats the forbidden. Somebody says that doesn't want that at all. So by lahachis, that's certainly lahachis. The anger of Kodesh Baruch Hu, but that's very rare. Hashem Yirachim, Hashem show mercy on us. Yudah, because I was saying about the Shulchan Sif Hey, Misha Nasan, Mama the Gamay and Stuck, somebody gives money to the officials or the stuck to the officials for tzedakah. Ein lo yashav shum koch bahem. He, the giver, and his heirs have no more jurisdiction over them. Kol can do whatever they believe is fit. The eyes of God and man. But before they got to the hands of the official, you know that tzedakah, if you pledge tzedakah, stam generically, no sim the krova baniyim, you give it to his relatives who are impoverished. The only daito, because we reckon, it's in brackets, but it's obviously that's the case here. The daito, the kavanah, those two words in brackets. The kavanah krova that it means to give to his relatives. Dafkim krova baniyim b'shas neder. Only his relatives who are impoverished at the time made the neder. Amil Ashirim was at the time the pledge the rich Vehenu, they became poor. Ain't no and we don't give it to them, at least not as a priority. Choseh ben posting stuck levad. All this is where he just stipulated his giving tzedakah. Avin posting tzedakah b'nei, but he stipulated specifically give tzedakah to the people in the city. That's b'nei irna, that his nether is on the assumption that b'nei ir should make the decisions. Vehem yasu mashir, so the people in the city can make the decisions. End quote from the Shulchan Aruch. Tesva. Biyadvar, the meaning of what it says here is that because previously we had learned Echlin Hog with Stock, how to conduct tzedakah. Find out tzedakah to me, Sha'anam notes and ish lefi erko nibasibo. This is the constant tzedakah the person gives, each person according to his level of wealth and the charity of his heart. The calm my reading is about Mishifish, it's come nachon tzedakah stam. Somebody who set aside a significant sum for tzedakah generically. V'lo b'ishla is it tzedakah? He didn't say which tzedakah for. It can go on kodem mosa, such as before his death. He freed me mamono, set it aside from his money. Schum nachon tzedakah stam, a significant amount for tzedakah generically. Or I feel b'chayev, or even during his lifetime, the soul libo, his heart has uplifted him. Schum nachon tzedakah, to set aside a significant sum to tzedakah, not after his death, but during his lifetime. If he gave all the money to the officials of the city, tzedakah, shuv ein lo, subsequently he doesn't have a gamli yoshab, nor do his heirs have shum koch b'hem, any jurisdiction over them. Near it, I feel adayin lo masar gabayim, and it seems that even if he hasn't given to the officials, ella, but Shammai said, I pledged so and such a tzedakah, to give the money over to the officials. Shub ein level yosef shum koch b'hem, neither he nor his heirs have any control over them. V'alkohol yasu ato bein elokim b'adam kifi rus shiva to ve'ir. The kahila should do what they think is appropriate in the eyes of God and man, according to the understanding or the perspective of the 7 councilmen of the city. Or P-Rovdeos are based on the majority of their opinions, or P-Basin or based on what Basin determines. I feel law malim sor biara gabayim. Also, we didn't say to give it to the gabayim. No, that's stop. He gave pledged generically. Amnam lo levado nadav, but he didn't do it as in a vacuum by himself. El kol kobnei and advul is part of a drive, a community drive. In other words, the people of the city decided to make a tzedakah campaign with significant sums, and they allocated specific amounts to each individual. No, each person, each one pledged a certain amount of money. Here too, he and his heirs have no jurisdiction over them. He gave on account of the fund drive of the people in the city. The tzedakah then by tzedakahs we go after our assessment. The people should do as they perceive. I mean, it's not the levado somebody if he was not part of a fundraising drive. He just gave money on his own. Money has to get given to officials. He has to say it's going to give to officials. Close to something. If you can do whatever he wants to them while he's alive. Made Chaim is no longer alive. Dina Ladaito. We assume that his intent was to come and also the crov of that he meant to give it to relatives. The nice of the crov give it to the relatives. But after the grave, I mean, specifically two relatives who are impoverished. Shibishas Neder who were around at the time the Neder was taken. But they came impoverished afterwards. Ain't no him. We don't give it to them. The Vade Kavanaso Hesa and the Starkim Bishas Maisi. So they remind the people who needed at the time that he made the donation. Lolo he bought. Listen, he didn't think about consider people who might require it afterwards. True, as live Yochel spirits concerned, he can do whatever he wants. Zobi Divren, that is what they mean to say. But tomorrow the Arukh HaShulchan is going to raise difficulties with this approach. I'm going to give away what he says. He says up to base and do what they think is right. Okay, we'll come back tomorrow, Mr. Shem.